Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a good day. My name's Bleaves. We're going to talk about something very, very interesting that we have not talked about before, but I think that it's important that we at least give this some consideration. And the answer is it's very simple. How do you do your own research when you're looking at cryptocurrencies? How do you do your own research and try to figure out for yourself what is the best path forward? So we're going to break that down for you, and we are going to do that while saying that this whole thing is being brought to you today by Margex. This is one of the newest cryptocurrency exchanges. I have signed up with them. I am a member now. So if you guys want to, we're going to sign in here real quick. And I'm going to put a link down here so that you guys can start trading today. You can sign up. There will be a descriptor there. So sign up for me. That's going to be click and drop to line up 5. That is a wild verification process over there. Anyway, so yeah, that was absolutely weird. So if you guys are looking for a safe and secure non-KYC platform in the United States, Margex, give them a shot, try them out. All you have to do is sign up. I'm going to put a link down below for this. And if you check it out, then, I appreciate it. Sign up. Certainly would be appreciated. We're going to go back to that. Now, what we're here to talk about today is how to do your own research in cryptocurrency. And we're going to start off with this. I'm going to simplify this process for you because I think that it's imperative that we look at it and we do it the way that everybody else does it. And the way that everybody else does it, doing your own research, is we're going to ask Grok. So what are the steps of doing your own research in crypto, specifically meme coins, and what sites should be used so that you have an idea of what it is that we're looking for? And the number one things is to learn the basics of the meme coin and the crypto fundamentals. Start by understanding what the meme coin is, what its theme is, basic tokenomics like supply, circulating supply, any burning mechanisms, review any official documentation such as a light paper or website to grasp its story or purpose. Though many memes are purely for fun and speculative, if you're new to crypto, familiarize yourself with key concepts like wallets, DEX, and blockchain explorers. Now, I'm going to assume that you do have at least a rudimentary knowledge of how to buy a cryptocurrency. How do you look at it? So we're going to focus on doing your own research. First, here's the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to confirm the smart contract address from official sources. Now, in this regard, we're going to look at, and we're going to use, for example, WikiCat. WikiCat's been having an explosive move the last couple of days. When it ripped all the way up to the top over there, what I told you guys was my expectation was that it was going to come back down into the 786, which is what it's doing right now, and that most likely it's going to break back up here to the 382. And as you see right now, it's kind of had that big move. Now, why are we looking at this one specifically? Well, the answer to that is because this one's been around for a long time, launching itself a long time ago in 2022. And this is an example of what we're talking about when we say, when we hit altcoin season, we're going to have an incredible run for a lot of different tokens. This thing was trading, to give it some clarity in market cap, this thing was trading at around $1 million or less market cap for a very, very long time. At the time that it actually started to rip, it had dipped down to a $7 million market cap right over here. Now, let's full circle this all the way back here. We're talking about a launch at 350,000 market cap. So this one's been having a nice little run along the way. Now, those are the things that we're looking for. We're looking for, do we have spikes? Do we have interest moments? Do we have places where we're actually seeing some progress being made for the crypto? And remember, this is a meme coin. So the first thing that we're doing is we want to know, is the contract address secure? The answer to that is on DEX Screener. So if you're pulling up a crypto on DEX Screener, then here's what you're going to see. Go Plus Security says no issues. Quick Intel gives you no issues. Token Sniffer is going to give you 70 out of 100. We're going to go to that in just a moment. And then honeypot.is says no issues. Now, Token Sniffer, as you can see over here, gave me a 70 of a 100 rating. I have concerns. So let's pop it up and let's see, what does Token Sniffer say about this project? Now, when we're looking for an entry position, we'll worry about the entry position a little bit later on. It's important that we know that we're trying to break out into, we want gains. We don't want to buy the top. We don't want to FOMO in. We don't want to get trapped. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to look at this score and we're going to look for basically greens, all the way down the line. Here is where it gets interesting. Right here, we've got a red X. It says at least 95% of the largest pool's liquidity burned and locked for 15 days or longer. Okay, now that is not the case over here. 37% is the number. So there is a reason for concern, but let's also consider something. Most cryptos are going to be like this. There are very few out here that really do this. There are very few that burn the entire liquidity pool. Now, that is a trick to be used with meme coins. And when I say that, please understand what I mean. It is a trick, okay? If you don't trust the developer, don't buy it. If you don't know the developer, make a decision on whether you're going to buy it or not. But I wouldn't, because I don't know the developer. I don't know whether the developer is any good or not. I don't know whether they're going to stick with it. Sometimes we see cryptos that launch and the big things coming. There's all kinds of different things that they say. So dealing with fundamentals here, we have one problem that's sticking out, and that's 95% of the largest pool's liquidity is burned and locked for 15 days or longer, and only 37% of that is burned. So we have an answer to one of our questions, but now it's time. What about the next question? All right. Now we're going to look here. Look for signs of scams, anonymous developers with no track records, unlock or promises of guaranteed returns. Use tools to scan for honeypots, which we just did. We just saw it. Or suspicious holder concentration. Suspicious holder concentration is very simple. What we're doing is we're looking for this over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this address, and we're going to go into Bubble Maps. Bubble Maps is going to give you a visual representation of where all of the wallets are that are holding. Now, if you look, let me give you kind of a zoom in here, and you can see this one right here. This is a very intriguing and interesting. Crypto has moved back and forth between all of these wallets, including this one right here, which is number 28 with a very small piece right here. But we know that this is OpenSea user San Frankie. So there's something to do with NSFs. Okay. So, and we see the same thing over here. We're seeing money being moved around between 5 different wallets here and 5 different wallets here. All of the capital that came into these wallets, all of the crypto that came into these wallets came from this one single wallet. And by the way, you are able to do this. You're able to move your crypto around. That doesn't mean that there's a problem. The way that we figure out a problem is we zoom out and we look at the distribution. What do we think of this distribution? Well, I don't really have a problem with this. I don't see a whole lot of movement, and it's been about 3 years. I'm actually pretty impressed with the distribution of this. There's not one single holder that's going to destroy the chart, if you will. So we look over here. From the address list, it's going to be right behind me over here. Number 1 is the dead wallet address. 35% is there. Gate.io hot wallet, and then SMC DAO also has 0.83%. Nobody has more than 1%. So it's another good sign for the distribution of wallets. So suspicious holder concentration, nothing to worry about. Evaluate the team's history. Now, in order to evaluate the team's history, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to the website because we want to find out who it is. We go to the website and we look at it. This is nondescript, basically. I don't see any reason right here for WikiCat to have taken off or gone crazy other than it's just a cute cat, and cat meme coins are kind of taking off right now. So let's go down here. WikiCat, this is an idea here. This is the only thing that you have to go on, really. WikiCat is a digital currency on the internet that aims to teach people about understanding and adopting cryptocurrency. So it has no function, no use. There's no reason for it to exist. Meme coin. It's just a meme. So by introducing the world to cryptocurrencies in a light, fun, and less serious manner, we believe more people can begin to learn more about this new and exciting type of financial system. Now, let's stop right there. That has all the makings of a scam. Now, the reason that I bring that up, and I'm not saying that this is a scam, but this has all the trappings of a scam. And the reason for that is because it's a meme coin. It doesn't do anything. The only purpose behind this is a community getting involved and attracting new investors to add liquidity so that the people who are currently invested can see growth in their price action so that they can sell. That also leaves people trapped at the top. And that, of course, is what I'm talking about when I said in the beginning, we don't buy tops. We're not going to buy tops. I'm not telling you how to do your own research so that you can buy tops. But we see this, we understand what we're dealing with, okay? Now, there was a fair launch Sunday, March the 20th of 2022 by Sir Mappy for his community called SMC DAO. SMC DAO was, we saw that was the number 2 wallet holding 0.8% of the supply right now. Other than that, nobody else is holding a large supply. And to ensure decentralization, the ownership of WikiCat has been renounced. There is no owner of the smart contract. There's no changes to the smart contract. All of the tokens are in circulation and nobody controls it. So it's renounced. That's also a good sign. Again, not necessarily a good sign, but it's a good sign when you talk token distribution. Again, we only have one wallet here, which is Gate.io with 1.34%. Anybody who wants to put this on an exchange, any other exchange who sees this, there's no supply. They have to come and they have to buy it on spot in order to get it listed. Okay, so we have Gate.io, we have SMC, we have Uniswap down here, we have MXC right here, we have Coin Tiger down here. So we already have a distribution of exchanges that are already trading. Okay, they're going to have to buy in because it's a renounced contract and because there's really no leadership other than a DAO, and they're not going to pay for a listing. But we've got some safety and security here, knowing that it's not ruggable. And by the way, for places like MEXC, Coin Tiger, Gate.io, they're already checking for these rugs. So the fact that it's listed on exchanges is generally a good sign that the contract has been renounced and that there's no games being played there. Now, there could be, there's always going to be investors who buy low and sell high, okay? That's what you're looking to do. So that's not a scam, but we should recognize that we're not worried about that portion right now, except for the buying. This is a clean distribution. Now, along with that, we've also checked out the suspicious holder concentration. We don't see that. The team's history, going back to the website over here, there's not really anything to it other than Sir Mappy for his community, SMC DAO. Now, how do I investigate Sir Mappy? So we're going to just highlight it right here, and we're going to do this right here. There's Sir Mappy right here on exactly in the spot you would expect it. This is exactly what you want to see. This is going to lead us to one of the spots, which is social media. Now, he has 70,000 followers from 2019 all the way through from 2019, and he's following 3,080 people. All right, so we've got a pretty good, like, it seems like that guy's got maybe not his stuff together, if you will, but at least we don't have problems. We don't, we see somebody out here. The question is, are they active? 20 hours ago, made a post on building apps. And by the way, to save you a little bit of time, here we go. Sir Mappy says, well done, believers. With God on our side, we have built one of the strongest communities on the internet. To stay ahead and keep informed, please take a moment to set up Google Alerts for these words. And this guy is taking the time to educate you into what he's doing. And what is he doing? WikiCat, his meme coin, SMC DAO, Sir Mappy, his DAO. Then you've got Penny Wallet and any other thing you want to keep up with. Now, let's take this back. We've got WikiCat. Let's go look at WikiCat. 38,000 followers on WikiCat. This is something with hype to it. Okay. Now let's go over here. What is Penny Wallet? The ultimate app for social giveaways. Penny Wallet allows you to effortlessly send tokens across many wallets in one go. So this is a distribution wallet, maybe even a regular wallet. We're going to have to investigate that. That's not part of this, but we see that it's out here. Has 6,000 followers. Maybe it's something that we'll look at some point. And then over here in September, you've got Penny Remit, the ultimate app for everyday spending. Penny Remit allows you to effortlessly spend your tokens in the real world anytime, anywhere. This is a conversion module. It looks like. Maybe this is a great opportunity. Now, let's go back to this because we're still on WikiCat and we're still looking at WikiCat. Everything that we look at so far gives us reason to believe that WikiCat is not a bad project. So again, we're taking our steps here. We're through number 2 and we've got pretty good information. Now, analyze the tokenomics and the market data. So examine the economic model. Is liquidity locked? We know that 37% of the liquidity is locked. Not all of it, not 95, not over 95%. It hasn't been burned or anything like that. What's the distribution of tokens? We already know that. We've checked that out. Now we're going to check the market cap, trade volume, and price history. We're going to do that through DEX Screener. DEX Screener tells us there's $804,000 in trade volume. There's 3,725 makers who have traded over the last 24 hours. There's 400,000 in buys, 397,000 in sells. A little sideways action. We see this now, and we've got the distribution. Now we're going to take another step. And we'll get to that towards the end of this. Right now we're dealing with how we're doing our own research in cryptocurrency. We're going to get to that one in just a moment. But now we're going to come to community market cap, and we're going to look over here at the markets, and we want to see what's the volume on the markets. And we've got PancakeSwap, 800,000, Gate.io, MEXC, both 200,000. So we've got over 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 million per day being traded right now. Okay. So we still like the distribution here. We like Gate.io. We know that they do a lot of meme coins. We like MEXC. We know they do a lot of meme coins. We don't like MEXC, but we like a whatever. KCEX as well, one of my partners. In addition, if you're not already, make sure you sign up at Margex. Margex is going to give you, as a matter of fact, let me grab 1 second here, my link, and we'll do the Margex link real quick. We're going to log in. Oh, and now we got to verify. Boom, boom. And it's telling me that I need to redo my password. Security, very important. Imperative, in fact. And we're going to pop over here. We're going to verify our password real quick. And we're going to get a code. Boom. Boom. I don't like that at all. Making it difficult. But we are in right now. We're going to give you the link right now so that you can effectively sign up for me. We're going to update that password. All right, now we've done it. Now we're going to log back in. All right, so we're going to put that down in the description down below for a link. So if you're not already, sign up at Margex. All right, now back to what we're doing here. Now we're going to go to CoinMarketCap. We've checked that out. We got $1.4 million in trade volume. We like what we're seeing right now. Now we're going to access the community and social sentiment, and there is a website for this. There's also Telegram, Discord, other places that we're going to check out. Now, first of all, we know the distribution is good. We're going to go to Telegram. When we go to Telegram, what do we see over here? That is the Wildcat coin right here. We're going to pop this open. And we see WikiCat has 10,158 subscribers. And let's pull that over here. I have not joined this channel, by the way. I do want to stress here that most of this is not conversation. This is notices. And the community here, it says right here, the community has moved from Telegram to SMC DAO app. Please search the App Store or Play Store for the SMC DAO. They're moving away from Telegram, which is a very interesting thing to do right now. Also, while we're at it, BitCan is now listing WKC for trading as well. BitCan, another distribution center, a centralized exchange, which is advantageous. So we like what we see so far on Telegram. We like the fact that they're creating their own new stuff over here. So I'm pretty into this so far. What I like across the board is everything that I've seen. Now, there's also another place, and it's called Lunar Crush. If you're interested in a crypto, go to Lunar Crush and put that crypto in and look at it from a trend. And this is basically the engagements and mentions of this project over a period of time. This is the engagement on it. You can see it really started to spike up around the 12th, okay? 13th, 14th, 15th, it goes way down. But let me show you an interesting thing here. What happens on the 12th? On the 12th is right here. Like, we're just getting started right there. On the 12th, you're starting to see the spike. We're starting to see price action become imperative here. Off of this, we get a massive move, and that massive move takes it all the way up to 160 million market cap, but the engagement dies down at that point. Guess what we're seeing right now? We're seeing the same thing spiking again. We could have reason to believe that shit might happen again. Also, we can look at the mentions on it as well, and we can see the same distribution right here where we've got high engagement, we've got high mention, we've got creators. Are creators doing anything with it? Creators like myself who are paying attention to what's going on. And then we have sentiment. Is it positive or negative? And so far, sentiment is about 80% to the positive. So we like what we see on WikiCat. There's nothing that people have in question. The only reason for there to be a problem is down momentum. You know, we were stuck on a dip here, but I mean, if you bought that dip, if you did it, again, we haven't talked about how to do it, but if you've done it, then you bought this dip right here around, what is it, 71 million market cap, and you're back up to 110 million market cap. Would be my estimation at this point, no matter what, take your original investment out and just ride your little bag over there. And by the way, the reason that I'm saying that, in my opinion, is you're not going to get rich off of this unless you were in down here. You're not going to make a ton of money off of it unless you got in like a 10 million market cap, unless you put a lot of risk in your game, unless you put a lot of money into this right now to make a quick flip, you're not going to make a ton. Okay. Now, the important part is there's 1.9 million in liquidity. If it goes from where it is right now, 110 million to $1 billion market cap, that is a 10x. You're not getting rich off of a 10x unless you put $100,000 into a project. So that is an enormous sort of risk for a meme coin. So again, I implore you, if you find a nice dip and you make a nice little profit off of it, take your original out and go look for something with a lower market cap. Again, using the fundamentals that we're talking about right here. This is nothing against WikiCat, just you didn't get in early enough if you're still looking. And if you're looking for that little flip, there's much better options towards the top of the charts where fundamentals are going to come into play at some point. So now we've done all of our pieces. Now we're going to dive into the blockchain data. We're going to review transaction history and holder count. So to do that, we're going to come over here. We're going to go to WKC right there, and we're going to go to EXP. That's going to be located right here on the right-hand side of the contract address. Contract address is WKC, and we're going to click Explorer. And that's going to take us to BSC scan. If it's Solana, it'll be Sol scan. If it's Ethereum, it'll be ETH scan. But you can now look and see how many holders are there. There are 103,000 holders on August. Here's where it gets interesting, right? Let's look at this distribution right here. On Saturday, August 9, there were 74,000 holders. Today, 103,000. You've added 30,000 holders over the last week. That is an enormous number. That is a fantastic result. That's exactly what you want to see when you see people adding to the bag, if you will. Now, the other thing is, again, we want the distribution. These are the holders over here, and we're going to basically check our bubble map that we just looked at. The biggest percentage is still the dead wallet, and then Gate.io has 1.38%. But then after that, nobody has more than 1%. Now, if we want to do this, we can also look at transfers, and we can see where money is being moved around, who's buying, who's selling. We can look at all the data that we want to see from the blockchain. We will know exactly what it is that we're looking for. I'm not going to put too fine a point on this. Use basic technical indicators like RSI and stuff like that. That's going to be for buying and selling. We're not doing that right now. We're just doing some investigating on whether or not this is a good project. Now, evaluate the risks like regulatory scrutiny. Now, for you, could something happen? Yes, meme coins can drop 90% overnight. That happens all the time. So you always have to be nervous about what's going on. So you're looking for, is there any regulatory scrutiny on WikiCat? Is there any copyright possibility? No. Or chain specific issues. BNB, network congestion. I think it's pretty thorough that BNB does not have those kind of problems. So I would never worry about that. Never invest more than you can lose. Again, they go down 90%. Cross-reference info from multiple unbiased sources to avoid echo chambers. And remember, when you're pushing your meme coin, you are in an echo chamber. When you're part of an environment, and by the way, Twitter and social media, they create echo chambers for you based on their algorithm. Okay. So when you look at, for example, I have two lines here, and I don't know how you use your X account. Here is my for you right now. Okay. This is for you. This is them telling me what I need to know. Okay. These are the, so right now, Elon Musk is my first thing that I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Tom Crown, Starlink, All Elite Wrestling. I'm a big fan of wrestling. But going down here, Down Bad Bears. This is because of the Chicago Bears. And then, of course, AM Crypto. We've got ESTA, the only ESTA. I think there's another one. I got to think there's another one. But Faltron, Nostalgic Hub, just whatever it is that I engage with, then or I look at, I'm going to see. So Cointelegraph, stuff like that. Now, I have one that's called Following. And I've told you guys before that I'm unfollowing a lot of people, and I'm unfollowing a lot of people because they share stupid shit. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through all your garbage that you're sharing because it doesn't help me. But Crypto Barbie here, the court granted the SEC and Ripple's request to dismiss the appeals. That's it, guys. XRP is now free. That's not exactly true, but basically true. The judge previously does still have to say, okay, we're done with it. And that'll just be an easy announcement. But scrolling down here, again, you're going to see things. Ray Ayala is sharing information. About Jeremy Rennick, by the way. Jeremy Rennick, for those of you that don't know, is now the CEO of MetaChain X and PayChain X, or MedXT, whatever it's called. Okay, remember when you got ripped off by Lillian Finance? Well, he's in charge of Lillian Finance now. Brad Beatty went to jail or quit or whatever. I put $5,000 in it to protect the price. My $5,000 is now worthless. It's sitting in a wallet right now, and I haven't seen a spot where I can flip the coins and trade them or anything like that. So basically, I stay away from this because these guys scammed me. And it's not Jeremy Rennick scamming me. It was everybody else that was involved in it, and some of them are still involved in it. So, which is why I stay away from it, because fuck that. I'm not having them steal my money one more time because they can't get their shit together and they can't market appropriately. They talk a good game. You know what I mean? But again, doing my own research, we figured out that, they put me into a bad situation before. So anyway, but back to it. Evaluate all of these risks, okay? And then monitor and stay updated post-investment. Doing your own research isn't one-time. Track news, community updates, and market shift. Use portfolio trackers to watch performance and exit strategies. Now I'm going to give you a list, and that list is going to be sponsored by Margex. So if you are interested or you are intrigued, sign up at Margex today. Now, market data aggregators like CoinMarketCap are going to help you. They're going to tell you why they're useful for meme coins. Quick overview of trending memes, historical data, and exchange listings gives you an idea of how they're trending. Then you have CoinGecko, same thing. Then you have DEXs and on-chain tools. For example, you have DEX Screener, stuff like that. Then you have blockchain explorers like Etherscan, Solana Scan. DEX tools, by the way, same thing as DEX Screener, in case anybody is wondering. Lunar Crush for social sentiment. Sentiment and social tools on X, and you have certain tools that you can use for that through Twitter and Reddit. Then for trading platforms, you have Pump.fun, and there's a bunch of others. There's TerraPump.fun, there's Bonk.fun. There's a couple different ones. Then you have the trading platforms like Binance or Bybit, or in this case, MEXC, OKX, Gate.io, places where you can go check and see, are they trading over there? And if they are, you can say with confidence that this is probably something that, and by the way, just because it's trading over there doesn't mean the value is going to go up. Doesn't change the value proposition. The value proposition is based on community. So, and we do have to recognize that. And then finally, Nansen portfolio, something like that. If you go to app.nansen right here, portfolio, I'll show you what it looks like real quick. You can sign up or you can sign in over here. Then you can attach all of your wallets, and it will track all of your wallets and give you signals, and it will tell you where the smart money is putting their money. It's tracking famous wallets and high profile wallets. So if you go to Nansen, it is something that aggregates and tells you the things that you need to know about each and every blockchain by some of the cryptos. Here's your DEX flows. There's flows that you have to the in and to the out that tells you whether or not it's going up or down. For example, you got 10 million coming in on SUSD, whatever SUSD is today. You got $10 million in DEX inflows. So something big going on over there. Tron, big inflows today. BOEM, which is Book of Memes, big inflows coming today. Useless, Lido. There are plenty of different ones out here that have a lot of flows going in, but you can use these tools that you have in order to become better at trading. So you're going to want to look up bubble maps. You're going to want to see what the distribution looks like. You're going to want to look at the website. You're going to want to see whether or not these guys are going to scam you or not. Is the liquidity locked? If it's not locked, don't buy. If the liquidity is locked, then you can consider a buy. Now you have to vote. What about is the liquidity burned, or is it locked, or when does it unlock? There's questions that you have to ask. Okay. And then go to Token Sniffer, make sure that the contract is solid and it's valid. Then go to X and see what community engagement is. By the way, if you're looking for community engagement, you can come over here and, just as an example, right here, type in hashtag BTC for Bitcoin, hit enter. And now let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. These are your top, and then here are your latest. And that's what we're looking for, is the latest. We want to see how far down do we have to go to really see whether or not people are talking about it. And we're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we get to a minute right there. So people are talking about Bitcoin. What about one of my old projects, SWP? Now, if you guys remember, SWP, which was the Solana Wolfpack now, but it was the Saitama Wolfpack. We partnered with them. We had a big, gigantic pump. We made a bunch of money off of it. And then they decided they didn't want to partner anymore. They went and got Adam and Deb and a couple different people. And then I got annoyed because they did not communicate with me effectively. Now, let's break this out. What happened here? Nobody's talked about it in the last 2 hours. So do you want to buy SWP? No, you do not. We buying SWP right here. That was 5 hours ago. Nobody in their community is doing anything on social media. I mean, right here, same thing, 7 hours. Every couple of hours, you get one SWP post. That's not good. That is poor engagement. And by the way, here's the interactions, 55, 7, and 5. So whatever they're doing is not good. So it's a project that you stay away from for right now. By the way, that doesn't mean that there's a problem with the project. That means that there's a problem with the marketing, okay? And they're going to have to fix that. And if they fix that, then this thing could blow up. Remember, WikiCat was sitting at the bottom for a very long time. Just because it's sitting at the bottom right now, just because there's no interaction right now, doesn't mean that there won't be. So again, you have to do your research and figure this out. But SWP, dead. I mean, nothing happening right here. Matter of fact, here's Blocky. This is, my friend Roger has Blocky, right? Nothing in 12 hours. And this is Blocky Boy. This is not even the Blocky that we were talking about before. I mean, this is a different Blocky. There's Blocky AI agent. Nothing since August 22nd. There's no community working on it right now. I mean, these are the numbers. These are the things that you got to see. Like, are you creating and building a new community? Blocky does not appear to be. What about Rocky? But you know what? Matter of fact, we're not even going to get into them. We're going to start looking around. There is either people working for your crypto or there's nobody working for your crypto. If you want your crypto, if you want a meme coin to moon, you have to get on social media and you have to let people know that it exists, because if you let them know it exists, then they're going to buy. They're going to speculatively buy just on the chance that it could pump, just on the chance that something good could happen. But it's a chance. If nobody's working on it and nobody's doing anything for it, and you come over to X and you put in cash tag, whatever it is, like again, for example, cash tag WKC for WikiCat. If you see a bunch of people engaging with it, and the price has not pumped yet, price probably going to pump. Or at least you can make an estimation that if the market is right, you'll get a pump, something like that. So what do we learn here? Do your own research. It's very simple. Just look around and figure out whether or not people care about this project. And then if you care, then go find other people who do care about it and then see what happens. Now, quick investigation on why Baroque has a honeypot. Now, let's go to Baroque on base USD chart and let's go look at the markets. Now, when we're doing this, here's where we go. If there were a honeypot and it were valid, Young Jay, then they would not be listed on MEXC. They wouldn't be listed on BingX, Bitmart, LBank, Biconomy, Ascendex, Aerodrome, BTSE, or Binance. They would not be listed there because those places don't list honeypots. So now let's go back over to, let's copy our contract address. Now let's go over here to our contract address and we're going to put that in there. And now we're going to look at it over here. And when we look at it right here, then what do we get? We get no issues with Quick Intel. We've got no issues with Honeypot IS. We've got Token Sniffer giving us an 80 of 100, better than WikiCat. And then we've got Go Security because it has a block list. So wherever you got that it's a honeypot is not true. That's not real. In fact, let's go over here to Token Sniffer. And before I say that, none of it looks real so far. So the issue here is all other holders possess less than 5% of circulating token supply. A wallet contains a substantial amount of tokens. Circulating supply is total supply minus burned amount, which could have a large impact on the token price if sold. So if we're looking at Broke and we go to this right here, it's a perfect example of the Explorer that we're looking for. We're going to copy this right now. We're on Bubble Maps. Let's go to Bubble Maps and let's do this with Bubble Map and see what it looks like on the distribution right here. This is on the base blockchain, and this is what they're distribute. Fuck that. Okay, so first of all, I'm saying that because that to me, no. Okay, this for me right now, no. And the reason for that is because everything is based on this right here on a distribution parameter. The distribution parameter, however, is this. It's on a pre-sale. So it's just now sending out its tokens, okay? So that's what I'm going to say this is. We're going to click on that, and we're going to see that everything in this market came from this single wallet. So now we're going to back out here just a little bit. We're going to go back over to Broke. We're going to go to Twitter right now, and we're going to go look, and we're going to see what Broke has. Broke, since May, it has 50,000 followers since May. Now let's go look at the price action. We had up to an 8 million market cap. It's sitting at a 2.5 million market cap right now. All right, so this doesn't look like what I'm saying it is, though. We're going to come back over here. We're going to go back to this. We're going to look at it on the Explorer to see if maybe I'm missing something, because I look at that bubble map and I'm like, fuck that. No. Token transfers, 5,665 holders. That's actually a pretty good amount. I wouldn't hate that. Let's go look at what we got here. So the dead wallet holds 10% right there. MEXC holds 8.5%. Then we have a bunch of open wallets right here, a bunch of open wallets right here. I'm not confident in the value proposition here, or at least I'm not completely convinced that the value proposition here is exactly right. Okay. Too many people got too many tokens from one single source. Again, going back over here, I have questions. A lot of that supply came from one single place and was distributed out. Now, by the way, that is because of pre-sales. So I suppose the next question would be Broke on base pre-sale. Broke on base, positions itself against common pitfalls, top base. I don't know how the pre-sale. Broke is emerging meme coin. Yeah, so it is on a pre-sale. So that's the reason for the distribution being the way that it is, because once you buy in the pre-sale, it comes from a single wallet, which is why when I see this, like, that's why at first I was like, what the fuck? But in reality, there has to be a legitimate reason. And by the way, there's not going to be a nefarious reason if you're getting price action. In fact, price action on this for no reason other than because I see it like that right there. If this breaks out, it's going to the all-time high. So if it goes above this, and this is just Broke, by the way, but if it goes above this right here, goes back up in that 4 million range, and then back tests over here, if it's successful, it's going to 6 million right here, and it's going to 8 million up here. Just real simple. All right. So hope that helped. But yeah, like I look at that and I look at that distribution does not look great to me. Anyway, it's time for me to go to dinner, guys. Thank you so much. This is how you do your own research. I know I spaced this out a little bit. I get all over the place sometimes because, I get people asking me about Broke and stuff like that. But the idea here is I want you to be good at doing your own research. So when I give you something and I say, hey, I think this project might be the next big one, people come to me for promotional stuff. My job is I'm a salesman. My job is to sell you on the idea. Now, I leave it to you to decide whether or not this is the investment for you. If it meets your criteria, buy it. If it doesn't meet your criteria, don't buy it. Very, very simple. But establish what you need to for criteria at the minimum. Token sniffer, make sure that there's no honeypot. Token sniffer, make sure that there's no way for them to liquidate you with a giant amount of supply. Go to bubble maps. Make sure you don't see that weird distribution. Or if you do see the weird distribution, be able to go back and say, was there a pre-sale? Or is this just one person giving out tokens to everybody? Don't forget a lot of these different tokens. I'll show you in my wallet, by the way. I'm going to post it. I'm going to pull it up on the screen over here so that you can see. I don't have it attached to my computer anymore. So, but last night I got mobbed. I have maybe 10 tokens total. Look at this. I had a whole bunch of people send me 5 tokens for NNT, ODC, OPC, PHF, SGX, TTX, MasterCard, LNC, GRK, DSC, BULL. I had a whole bunch of different cryptos just get thrown into my wallet a little while ago. I don't know what's going on with that, but you see that from time to time. But obviously it's BSC. I don't touch BSC meme coins. So anyway, that gives you an idea. Check your token sniffer, check your bubble maps, go look at community engagement, and then decide for yourself whether it's the investment for you. If you decide that it is the investment for you, then we'll talk about later on, we'll talk about why you should never buy at a certain position, and why, if you see this happening right here, don't FOMO and get in, and why when you see this dip right here. By the way, I'm going to draw this out for you so that you can see it, because you'll know what I'm talking about then. It's Fibonacci. What I always tell you guys is very simple. Once the move has been completed, check for it to come back down into the 0.5 or the 0.618. If it goes down deep into the 0.786 but doesn't quite reach it, then expect a replay to the 236 line. 236 line is located over here. What did this do? 236 line. After that, your transaction is done. If there's a lot of buildup for this, and then you get this massive dip over here, look for this move right here. This right here is where you go from, in this situation, you went from, what's this, 2.8 million market cap up to a $7 million market cap. You got an easy 3X on this, okay? Now, take your original investment out, take at least another X out for your profit. Now you've taken out 2X and leave 1X in, okay? So if you had 1 million tokens, for $1,000, now you have $3,000 worth of tokens. Take out $2,000, pay yourself so that you have another $1,000 plus your original $1,000. Leave $1,000 in. If this thing goes crazy and it does if it goes to 100x, that's a nice 12x for you. That turns your $1,000 left into $12,000. But that's a conversation for another time. That's just going to be how you trade on the charts. And if you do trade on the charts, don't forget, trade at Margex. This is not financial advice. I'm always right. I'm going to dinner right now, but also, by the way, I don't feel very good today. I had a stomach ache all day long. I went to the gym. Ugh, it was horrible. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Make sure you share this with everyone.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world. I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to